Hello and thanks for joining us tonight. The Monroe Sheriff's Office is asking for help in locating Robert Bobby Wood. He's wanted on animal cruelty charges.
Right now, Sabrina Parks is in jail facing those same charges. Deputies say the couple left animals in, quote, horrible, unlivable conditions. Cecily Stout spoke to Monroe Sheriff Brad Freeman and the Animal Services Director in Monroe County to get the latest on the case.
Sheriff Brad Freeman says 4 dogs and 1 cat here at the Monroe County Animal Shelter are victims of animal cruelty. Deputies called in Animal Services after finding what they called a horrible scene.
Basically, the urine smell and the feces odor was just overwhelming to them.
Sheriff Freeman says his deputies were having a hard time with the conditions of a home off Bar None Road.
You'd have to be pretty hard up to want to live in this trailer that they were in, because even the deputies that were investigating it, they'd have to go outside, you know, every so often just to catch their breath, because, you know, their eyes are watering and their, nose is running. It was just pretty bad.
Freeman says multiple animals were neglected at the home. He says one dog was so hungry it had tried to eat a pet snake.
You had a cat, several of the dogs that, had feces in their fur, matted. You had one deceased dog on the scene. Then you had 2 dogs that were just, obviously hadn't eaten in weeks. They were just basically fur and bones.
Urine and feces covered the floor inside the home. In the backyard, there were multiple kennels, but one dog didn't have access to food, leading it to his death, according to Animal Services. Magic, Maurice, Simba, and Smokey were taken back to the shelter to recover and act as evidence in this case. Since the animals could not fend for themselves and were left to suffer, Freeman believes the owners need to be punished.
Could have done a lot to avoid this, but they chose not to do it. They made a conscious decision not to do it, and hence they find themselves with warrants for their arrest.
In Monroe County, Cecily Stout, 13 WMAZ News.
If you have information on where Bobby Wood might be, you can call the Sheriff's Office at 478-994-7593.
Sadly, an estimated 10 million animals die from abuse or cruelty every year in the U.S. Here in Georgia, the Department of Agriculture encourages people to come forward if they suspect animal neglect or cruelty. They are the only agency that can investigate businesses licensed to handle animals.
But they ask you to call your local law enforcement or animal control agency if you're concerned about a neighbor. The good news, an estimated 4 million pets are adopted from shelters each year.